If you're just thinking about starting to sew and your head is already full of marketplaces, advices, and you must buy this, in this video I am sharing a realistic starter pack for a beginner sewer without unnecessary purchases and pointless spending. Hi everyone, my name is Valentina. Welcome and welcome back to my sewing vlog. This video is going to be very conversational, very talking. I just want to share my personal experience, the things I've learned during my sewing journey. And at the end of the video, I also want to reflect a bit on my first year on YouTube. So let's starting. When I just starting out, I looked at other people's studios and thought, wow, I wish it, I had all of that, I wish it, I dream it. But in reality, it turned out that most of those things aren't necessary. And the most important tools are the ones I used every single day and every single moment. Let's start with the most important part, the sewing machine. If you're just beginning to sew, the first thing I want to say is don't rush. You absolutely don't need to buy an expensive machine right away. For a beginner, a simple basic model is more than enough. What really matters is not the price, but how reliable machine is. When I choose a sewing machine, I focus on two main things: a trusted brand and the real user reviews. I always pay attention to brands that specialize specifically in sewing machine and overlockers. I'm quite careful with brands that produce a bit of everything, because sewing machine about fine-tuning, precision and experience in this exact field. Over the years, I've had several different machines. My very first one actually a manual sewing machine back home in my hometown, and honestly that's where everything started for me. Later, when I was in university, I bought my first real machine, the Brother Star 1300. I remember feeling so grown up and independent back then. After that, I had a computerized Neki, and I truly loved it. We went through a lot together. It was reliable, intuitive, and just a joy to use. And what's especially important to me, none of my machines ever broke. When I upgraded or changed it, they went to new owners and they're still working to this day. Right now, I use the Janome 1522 GN. It's considered a beginner-friendly machine. Of course, in future, I plan to upgrade. Sometimes it can be a little moody, especially with very thick or multi-layered fabrics. But overall, I'm extremely happy with it. About upgrade, I'm thinking about Zinger computerized heavy duty. I don't remember number, but I think it's very good. So, together with serving a huge number of projects, from a Mangala outfit to a Birkin jerkin bag, and that really proves that it's not all about the machine. What does matter is the internal construction. It's very important that key components inside the machine, especially the hook and internal mechanism, are made of metal. That affects stitch stability and how long the machine will last. Now about stitches. It often feels like the more stitches a machine has, the better, but honestly that's not true. To start, you only really need a straight stitch, zigzag, and automatical buttonhole and reverse button. That's more than enough for most beginner projects. Don't chase hundreds of decorative stitches. You most likely won't use them. What does really matter is pressure fit. There are so many different presser fit on the market and it's very easy to get overwhelmed. So let's be honest right away, which ones you actually need and which ones you can skip in the beginning. Most modern machines already come with a basic set, actually including a standard foot for straight stitching, zipper foot, hemming foot, buttonhole foot, sometimes even a buttonhole sewing foot, and honestly is already enough to start sewing. From personal experience, the more experienced I become, I use the same 2 feet, either the regular straight stitch foot or my absolute favorite, the walking foot. This is the one I generally recommend buying separately. Mine is from brand Aurora. Why it's so good? It's amazing if you're sewing thick fabrics, working with multiple layers, quilting, and sewing very delicate fabrics. Obviously, you need this always. Even when working with leather or fox leather, it makes stitching easier and much more even. Another useful foot is the invisible zipper foot. I don't have one yet, but I know I'll get it eventually. It really simplifies things. And if you plan to sew leather, fox leather, or vinyl or something similar, definitely look into a Teflon foot. Without it, those materials just don't glide properly. Anything else? Nice to have, but not necessary the start. Now, needles. Honestly, almost all needles on the market are useful. And I'm not even joking. Needles are what truly affect stitch quality. If your stitching looks bad, uneven, or skip stitches, or most of the time the problem isn't the machine, it's the needle. Needles are consumables. They get dull, they break. Please protect your eyes and don't sew with damaged needles. Changing needles means you're sewing correctly. The rule is simple. Thin fabrics, thin needles. Thick fabrics, thicker needles. There are universal needles and fabric-specific ones. For the needle, for example, I usually use size 90 or 100. If you sew knit fabrics, you must use jersey or stretch needles. They have a rounded tip that slides between fiber instead of cutting them. Without them, knits get damaged. Leather or fox leather, use leather needles. Simple rule, specific fabric, specific needle. And always buy a few extra needles. They will run out at the worst possible moment. I don't constantly buy expensive branded threads. I mostly use regular ones and they work just fine for me. Yes, brands like Gutermann, Coats and Clark, Mettler are really great, but they're not really important in the beginning. Start with black and white and add colors as you go. You need one good pair of fabric skirts. If you can hold them in store, do it. They should feel comfortable, not be too heavy, not strain your hand. And one important rule, the skirts are for fabric only. No paper, no packaging, only fabric. If not,
ew, this is so cringe. Guilty.
Get separate skirts for everything else. And one more little tip just between us. Get yourself a pair of pinking shears. When you're just starting out and you're still figuring out how to finish raw edge doesn't fry everywhere, this will seriously save you. It's not perfect and it's not a replacement for proper finish, but in the beginning they're a total lifesaver. And if you want to go a bit deeper, I already have a video about my favorite seams where I explain the most important ones. Definitely check it out. Some things seem small, but they're essential. Pins, lot of them, and they must be sharp. Bad pins can damage fabric, especially delicate ones. Clips, about 10 is enough. They're a lifesaver when pins don't work. Seam ripper, sewer best friend. Everyone makes mistakes, that's normal, and every time you need the seam ripper. Oh, so small skewer for trimming thread or corners. It's every time in my hand and on my table. It's your second best friend. Hand sewing needles, absolutely necessary. Measuring tape, I have several, and honestly they're often free gifts with my order. Chalk, my clear recommendation is Panda. Yes, sometimes it crumbles, but it disappears completely with heat, and this is the best chalk on the market. I mostly use a 30 centimeters ruler, basic triangle, and a basic curve, all from a stationery store. No need for professional sets at the start. But I'm not beginner, I'm pro. And one more very important thing, tailor's pressing tools. Those little pillow-shaped ones, I made mine myself. If you're curious how, I have separate video. It's in Turkish, but it has subtitles, so everything is clear. They make such a huge difference in how professional your sewing looks. This part is crucial. This is where most money gets wasted. First, expensive steam generators. Yes, I have one, but you don't need them at the start. A regular steam iron is enough. Good sewing starts with proper pressing, and pressing tools help more than price. Second, a dress form. It sets the mood. Yes, it's very helpful, but it's not essential at first. Third, an overlocker. Really, that's the next level, next step. It's complex and quite temperamental. Buy it when you understand why you need it. Also, don't buy fabric for the future. I know it's hard, but buy fabric for a specific project or it will just sit there for years. And don't start with complicated patterns. Simple projects keep motivation alive. Practice first, purchases later. And to finish, I just want to say thank you. Honestly, I still can't quite believe it. There are over 1,000 of you here now. People who watch, comment, support, and care. I've been on YouTube for almost a year and it hasn't been easy. I had serious back problems, spent almost the entire summer in treatment and hospitals. There were moments when I thought about stopping everything, but I kept sewing slowly, not perfectly, sometimes through pain. I made many projects, a Met Gala outfit, a denim set. I experimented, made mistakes, searched for my format. I learned filming, sound. I learned editing. I learned how to balance life, health, and creativity. And most importantly, I was searching for my audience. And it's turned out I was searching for you. This year started beautifully. My Birkin Jerkin bag video unexpectedly took off. And your comments, they mean more than you know. So many of you asked about the pattern. And I want to say this clearly. Yes, it's coming. I'm working on it carefully. I want it to be high quality and easy to use. If I didn't reply to everyone, I'm sorry. I truly didn't expect such a response, but I read everything and I'm very appreciate every single comment. Thank you for being here, for your likes, your words, your supports. You are a huge reason why I keep creating. And by the way, this whole video was filmed surrounded by hints of my next project. If you guessed what it is, let me know in the comment. The next video is very, very close. Bye bye!